we're constantly doing different little small events to raise awareness and those kind of things for these kids. And there's like I said, there's a whole host of ways you can be involved. In the summertime, we do golf events. We do all kinds of things where you can be involved and do some things that can help out.
That is so good, because you know, the more activities and the more you keep these youth busy, and you know, that creates happiness and joy, and spending time with, that goes such a long way. Just taking the time to spend the time with these kids that no doubt are hurting on the inside. Any kid would be.
Yeah.
You know, thinking that they've been taken away from their home or whatever. And it scars them.
Yeah.
But you all are coming along to try to mend those scars.
Yeah.
Oh, that is powerful.
You know, I'll kind of end it with this. We know that there's going to be a bunch of cases today, like I said.
Right.
And people ask me all the time, how in the world do you do what you do, knowing there's going to be over 200 cases reported today?
Oh.
And I look to the scripture where in Galatians where it says, do not give up in doing good,
right.
for in due time you will reap a harvest if you do not lose heart.
Right.
So I look for a harvest at Sunrise. I don't focus on the horrific stories that we hear of, whether it be casting a child out to hang out with the animals rather than come in to stay in the house, or whether it be refusing to allow a child to eat as a form of punishment, not because of lack of money.
Right.
And you get a 12-year-old boy who comes to your program who weighs right at 40 pounds.
Oh.
I don't focus on those kind of things because I could sit here for 30 minutes and just depress us both with all the stories that I know. So I look for the harvest at Sunrise.
Exactly.
And see where God is moving. And there's one story that stands out above them all. We had a young girl come to us about the age of 13. She had been living on the streets since she was 4. Her mother was lending her out for drugs.
Oh.
She had at one point gone into business for herself, so to speak, to make it work. When they finally caught up with her and put her in a residential program at about the age of 13, you can imagine having lived nearly 10 years of your life on the streets, resistant to anything of change. So our programs typically last around 14 months, 16 months. But that's when they decide, hey, I've got to change. I've got to do something different. It took her a while to want to change. But when she did change, she really began to blossom and really began to grow.
Oh, that's great.
But even at that, for an entire year, she refused to step foot in the room where we gave devotions and those kind of things. But we just, like always, we just kept offering that up.
Right.
Here's the opportunity for you. We don't force that on them. We give them that opportunity. Finally, she did take a step in there, and she became a Christian.
Oh, that's great.
And she went on to graduate valedictorian of her class.
Oh.
You know, I think about this girl who lived nearly 10 years of her life on the streets.
Right.
Seeing God knows what and experiencing God knows what. And yet, when she came to us, we were blessed enough to see how God used us to move in her life. And he made this little girl who was broken and who was just had gone through the most horrific things I can comprehend.
Oh, my goodness.
Used her and allowed her to become valedictorian of her class and became a Christian. She went on to one of our major universities where she was a leader in the BSU, using her testimony of how God can change.
What a testimony.